Perfect start. Hello and welcome to another episode of Cast Away with me, Munt, him, Fingermouse, and him, Woody, whichever way around everything is. And today's alternative universe movie is something called Ghostbusters. Has everybody got the script?
Interesting script.
I thought it was shit. Never read such crap in all my life, but there you go. Whether it'll work on screen, I don't know.
I thought it was a great script.
Oh, I thought it was mediocre. Trying too hard to be funny.
I think if we get the right people for it, it'll be brilliant. But we've just got to nail those top four.
Yeah, I think this Dan Aykroyd screenwriting guy has got like a future ahead of him in comedy.
You think?
Yeah, but you know, I think he's the sort of bloke who'll do a couple of decent things and then fizzle out and just make cameo appearances as he gets older.
Did you not see Blues Brothers 2000 or not?
Apparently, it's all back around his family sort of thing, though. His family's all into the ghost hunting and stuff.
All right, that's what it is. Right then, so our first character on the block is someone called Peter Venkman. Anybody got any?
Well, from what I've seen, on the four Ghostbusters, sort of the three originals, they say Peter's the mouth, Ray's the heart, and Egon's the brain. So with Peter reading the script on there, I've got an idea if you want me to go first.
Go on then.
Ryan Reynolds?
Nah.
Well, you're wrong.
Nah.
You're wrong. Read the script again. Read it as Ryan Reynolds. You'll find that's who it is. I thought if he'd been younger, I'd have been interested in Vince Vaughn as him, but Vince Vaughn's now 15. It's a bit too out of it. Ryan Reynolds is 43, but looks pretty young. I've gone for people all around that sort of age.
I've gone for the mid to late 30s, and one's a slightly older one. But nah, Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, you are. You're very, very wrong.
Okay,
you're pathetically wrong, like an idiot. You managed to somehow get on here.
I have an idea. I needed. I think it's a bit of a comedic actor, but can absolutely firmly plant his head up his own arse and can carry it. So I'd only got one name for this, and I'd got Sacha Baron Cohen.
Nah,
because he can land this.
Nah,
it'd be an interesting way to go with it. I'm not completely against it. I could see him maybe carrying off the sort of the charm, the sort of as they sort of refer to him, like, you know, he's a game show host almost who snuck into being a scientist.
I think don't forget, Peter Venkman's character isn't all about laugh out loud, absolutely killing you with laughter. It's more subtle, it's more nuanced, and he goes for the juggler on certain things. I think Sacha Baron Cohen would carry it off really well. Who did you go for then, Munt?
Chris O'Dowd.
So that's not a bad shout.
I don't mind Chris O'Dowd again.
That's a good shout.
Easy.
Chris O'Dowd's not in his 30s though. Chris O'Dowd's 40.
I know. I said late 30s to early 40s.
Not a bad shout. You've got a similar path to some that I went on that, but I don't really think he's quite got the charm to really do the leading man role.
I think that's the problem. The problem we've got to have here, we've got to have a balance, and I think someone like Ryan Reynolds, he can't balance. He has to be the star, and that's where I say no to Ryan Reynolds.
You mean just like if it had been like 25 to 35 years ago, say if we'd chosen Bill Murray for it?
No, but Bill Murray was on equal peg with Dan Aykroyd at the time. I disagree, mate. I disagree.
Piece of the year film, as you'll see, as they sort of discuss it there, Peter's the mouth, Ray's the heart, Egon's the brain.
And you know what? The other problem I've got with Ryan Reynolds to do it, he's too good looking.
So you use him.
He's too good looking. He's not rough.
He's very clean cut.
He's not rough and ready. He hasn't got that.
He's very clean cut.
He hasn't got that everyday bloke about him that Peter Venkman is. We're not. Peter
Venkman
isn't
look who become a game show host.
No, I'm sorry, you're wrong. Peter Venkman is not a character who walks into a room and turns every lady's head. Yeah. And that is the problem you've got with Ryan Reynolds.
But he's got to be able to be the romantic lead in this film.
Chris O'Dowd for me, mate. I couldn't think of anybody else who could emulate those mannerisms and awkwardness the way he does, and I thought he was perfect for the role. I hadn't actually got anybody else written down. He was there straight away.
I hate to
really
agree,
easy to
Mark.
cast.
I hate to agree, Mark. I think it's a really good shout, Chris O'Dowd. That's a brilliant shout.
Told you I was going to be right with all these.
We've got the choice there.
Oh. But you know what? Actually, Chris O'Dowd works really good with my next two choices for Stanson Spengler because, and I know we've got to go on Venkman, but Ray Stanson, Egon Spengler, for me, you can't cast those separately. They've got to be done together. They have got to know each other. They've got to know each other's. They've got to know every single thing about each other. Both they need to have performed with each other before. So I got a bit of a weird choice. Forgive me. It's not straight and out Saturday Night Live sort of comedic characters. I think we needed somebody who can pull off comedic lines, and this person's done it a lot in Ray Stantz. And Egon Spengler has got to be that unusual character. So I got Ray Stantz and Spengler were Martin Freeman and Benedict Cumberbatch. And they would work brilliantly with Chris O'Dowd.
I feel like I was watching an episode of Sherlock, though, especially when they're investigating ghosts and stuff, and I'm just going to be looking at the screen and thinking, and I'm watching an episode of Sherlock.
Yeah, but actors do have a tendency to be able to play other parts, Mark.
I've got no problem with that, but they're too similar together to go on to do another two similar together. I see where you're coming from, but no.
I think for me, those two, based in New York, Chris O'Dowd's a bloody great shout. That's chucked me that as because he'd worked really well with them two as well. Woody.
No, I went first last night. Mark this time, and then I'll go.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I've got two choices for Ray Stantz. They're a bit. Probably the obvious one. I've got Seth Rogen, and my second one, Josh Gad.
You've gone for the same two that I went for, then. I ended up with Josh Gad, though. I think I went for in the end.
I think I might prefer Josh Gad working alongside Chris O'Dowd, if I'm honest.
But as I say, you think of it, Ray's, as they described, the heart of the character. So I like Seth Rogen for it. I wanted Seth Rogen in here very much as part of the group, but I do think Josh Gad maybe would edge him out. He'd carry that sort of childishness and heart.
The reason why
scientific endeavour.
Why Josh Gad just pips it above Seth Rogen, I think is the obvious choice. But I hate to say it, I recently watched the live action version of Beauty and the Beast, and the character he plays in that against the lead. I don't know what the names are. Them freaking two drunk people in the pub or something. I don't know what they are. Beauty and the Beast. I sort of watched it with closed eyes, but he could play Ray really well. Based on where I saw him performing.
I watched a terrible film that was quite amusing, but his character would work in it. And it was Pixels. And that sort of...
Oh, yeah, I forgot it was in Pixels. Yeah, it's very similar.
Yeah, it's a good shout as well. Yeah.
I think he'd work as Ray.
So I'm right again then with Josh Gad. Well, there's a shock. I told you it was easy. Right, next. Egon. I have got an Egon. I don't know whether everybody's going to agree. But for me, again, there's only one person I could put in the role, and that's Bill Hader, or Hadler, whatever his name is, the American comedian. He was in chapter 2 and whatever.
He was one of my short runners for Ray Stantz, actually.
Was he?
Not for Egon, though.
I couldn't really think of anybody else for Egon.
I've got 3 choices for Egon, but I think I've got the last one. Shall I go next on this? And then
yeah. Because Dave's already done his Egon.
For Egon, I've sort of got interest. Martin Starr, the teacher in Spider-Man, was interesting to me. Said Bill Hader was interesting to me as it. Taika Waititi was an outside interesting choice, depending on if we'd gone with Ryan Reynolds, because them working together and having him as director. But I settled in the end on Richard Ayoade. Spengler's the ultimate nerd. Who's the ultimate nerd? And he'd work with Chris O'Dowd.
Yep.
Yeah, go on, I'll let you there.
But, all right then, but you'd think you were watching an episode of IT Crowd.
I know, I was just about to say that, and I know I'm going to argue the toss. I'm going to go for Bill Hader, because I think watching Chris and, what's his name? Oh, my brain ain't working properly today.
Richard Ayoade.
Richard Ayoade, you are right. And the problem is with Richard Ayoade, he can only play that character.
But he'd only be playing that character.
Yeah.
You watch it through,
But that character
Spengler and Moss are basically the same character, just doing ghost science.
I disagree. I disagree. I don't think Spengler's that much Moss.
He is on what I read the script the other night, and he was perfect for it.
See, I think Spengler has got more humanity to him. Is not so much of a robot.
He doesn't. He really doesn't. Read the script again. He doesn't.
But I'm having a difficulty here because we've been casting him with Chris O'Dowd, and I don't want it to become the IT crowd do Ghostbusters.
Well, send the Chris O'Dowd, and we'll go with somebody else then.
No, I'm keeping Chris O'Dowd. He's too good.
Chris O'Dowd's a brilliant show. But I love Richard Ayoade. I think that's a great shout at Spengler. But to counter your argument that you wouldn't let me have Martin Freeman and Cumberbatch, which would work perfectly. I'd have to bounce it off and say we can't use
being as Martin had Bill Hader in there and he was my first choice, I think we have to go.
No, I can't Bill Hader out because he's not the right character. He's not the right actor.
Who else had you got there then?
I've got Martin Starr, the teacher off of Spider-Man.
The guy with the glasses on.
Looks like
it's not very good.
I tried Will Ferrell and it doesn't work. I had down at one stage Justin Long, Bill Hader.
Mate, I'm gonna second you, Martin Starr.
Taika Waititi was like the interesting choice, but he's sort of your Richard Ayoade light.
Mate, I'm gonna second you, Martin Starr. He's in Freaks and Geeks, isn't he? As one of the.
They all came from that sort of world. I've looked at a lot of the Freaks and Geeks guys.
Hey, I'll do that then.
I just don't think he's as good as Richard Ayoade for the role.
But I think we need somebody who's gonna. I think we need a contrast.
Him and Josh Gad gonna have that chemistry you need.
Yes. Well, you've got to have three of them as well. You've got to. It's what they buggered up on doing the recent remake, the 2016 one. They tried having three comedians, all of a similar type.
It doesn't need three comedians.
Yeah, you've got to have.
He's perfect for the role. If you've seen him, also seen him in Knocked Up as well. Absolutely brilliant. He's perfect for the role.
Well, not so much. I mean, he's just the long-haired weirdo in that who's growing his hair for a bit.
And he's great.
Adventureland he's pretty good in, but it's Adventureland really that had kind of swung me a bit on it, and the teacher thing. But as I said, he's good for it. But Richard Ayoade would be the best. He'd just play the ultimate nerd for it. Got a different sort of humour.
Have you seen the film with Ben Stiller and Richard Ayoade and what's it bloody called now? The Watch.
The Watch. And pretty much Richard Ayoade is the only good thing in it, really.
And he's also Moss again. So we're gonna have...
Which is why, once again, he would be. That's the character that fits there. He's perfect for it.
Okay. We'll go back to we'll do Richard Ayoade then. Okay. I agree.
You're decent cast so far. Right then, Ernie Hudson.
Soldier, every man who's supposed to be there was originally going to be Eddie Murphy when they planned to do it in the 80s, but they didn't do it then, so he wasn't chosen. And he was too big anyway, so they just got in another decent actor to be an everyman character.
Richard, who are you saying for Ernie?
Oh, I'm just explaining.
Oh, right, sorry, I thought you said somebody then.
He's not the scientist. He's an ex-soldier and everyman character that's in there just to help have everything explained to him and be the normal guy who's, oh, well, who do you guys fancy?
Dave?
It was a tough one, this. I got it down to two, and forgive me because I hadn't got the name down. So I went completely off kilter, and I got that everyman ex-soldier and went, is that going to work, depending on the other three? And looking who we've got, I think we need somebody who's out and out funny and would deliver. So I went, and I'm deadly serious. One option was Kevin Hart, which just is ridiculous. My other option was, and you'll have to help me with this, Munt, what's the captain's name in Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Oh, the captain himself? I don't know the actor.
Because then he would come in as the gritty ex-soldier who's just there to make, he's there just to try and get his pay packet. And it would be an utter departure from what he was doing in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So that's where I got to. I got if you were going to go real pure comedy, because you've now not got that with those three, Kevin Hart would fill that void very nicely. Or you've got the captain out of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Forgive me, I forgot what his name is.
I'm just looking him up now.
Yeah. I'm just not sure.
Should know this. Those
sure
who are watching, tell me.
This is supposed to be the everyman character, not the comedy. The comedy's coming from your three scientists, and this guy being like, "What the hell?" with an occasional funny line. Sort of.
But if
Andre Brower,
yeah,
I want my own lawyer.
Because if you look at the pitch for it, it was meant to be. It's not out and out gags. So they wanted three sort of comedy actors that could do it. But if you look, we've got Josh Gad and Richard Ayoade. They can deliver a line. That's why I thought, let's go out and out comedy, or somebody who could just handle the three of them. So I don't know. I'm happy to have that tossed in there. But that was my thoughts.
No. I'd looked at Kevin Hart originally in mine. Sort of crossed him out, but I looked at him as well. I thought he was one of the possible choices.
I do like the idea of Kevin Hart.
Want me to go on, Monty?
It's up to you.
I've actually got three because I wasn't really sure which way we were going to go.
Yeah.
Based on age, I think he might be a bit too old and he might be a bit too funny. It depends on your point of view. Chris Rock.
Yeah, 55. He's a bit older, but he could still do it possibly.
My other choice was probably another obvious one, Donald Glover.
Interesting. I didn't put Donald down on this one, but that's not a bad choice as well on there. And
then the other one I've got is the guy who's in, I forgot what his bloody name is, and I was trying to find it last night, because I could never pronounce his name right. He's in Black Panther. Daniel Kaluuya, that's him.
Oh, Daniel Kaluuya, yeah.
Yeah, he was also Tea Leaf in Psychoville.
Yeah, and he was recently in Get Out, the lead character.
Yes,
well.
yeah. So that's what brought him to mind, because he I went for the non-comedic level man, which he was meant to be.
He's done a lot of comedy stuff with like Inside Number 9 and things like that as well. He's done, a lot of the weird comic stuff.
But he's not an out-and-out comedian actor.
No. He's done comedic acting, but he's throwing. I think he's sort of throwing himself more in the straight acting genre these days. It's like he's done the comedy stuff.
But I think this is a straight role.
If the right movie comes along, he could move back into that quite easily.
But I think this is more.
I quite like that choice.
I think this is more of a straight role, you see, and I thought that's why he fits into it. He's the level-headed. He's the audience.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I think it's more of a straight role with occasional quippy bits, sort of thing. Occasional moments of you. I'll give you the folks that I went down to the end. I mean, I looked at Chris Rock as well, and a couple of other folks and stuff. I looked at Michael Pena, funnily enough, as well. I thought maybe him, but didn't really seem to fit right. Looked at Idris Elba, maybe a bit too straight though for it. In the end, I kind of settled down to two choices. One was, funnily enough, the Cowardly Lion from last week, Terry Crews. Once I thought, he could play straight, as you see in Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He could do the straight character, but he can also throw occasional quip. Plus, he'd look like an ex-soldier. He could intimidate everyone he needed to be and all that. I think he'd be good for the role. And the other was, funny enough, I just thought a cash money grab, The Rock. You're guaranteed an audience with him. But I think Terry Crews would be a cracking choice.
Yeah, I like Terry Crews for the same. I like Terry Crews for the same reason. Where the guy I was thinking of, Andre, what was his name again? Andre
Karloff or something.
Yeah.
Now the guy, he's probably a bit too straight, whereas Terry Crews would probably pull that off really well.
Yeah,
and he's a really good compliment against the other three guys. That's a really I like Terry Crews.
Even though you've got like Chris O'Dowd's quite big, but Terry Crews is absolutely huge. So I mean, he'd even look a bit intimidating to the rest of them. Whereas they're all the scientific guys. He comes in as the
I like that.
Across them then as the completely physical guy.
Yeah, I'll go with that then. So Terry Crews is our Ernie.
Yeah, I like that. Dana Barrett.
I've only got one choice.
I've only got one choice. I bet we've all got somebody different. Go on then, Mark. You go first.
I'll go Charlize Theron.
Evangeline Lilly.
Oh, Evangeline Lilly.
Mm.
Not bad. Not bad.
I went a bit younger. I went a bit younger. I went Margot Robbie.
I went Charlize Theron. I just went classy. I thought, who's the current day sort of Sigourney Weaver type? I'm okay with any of them.
Yeah, I think Chris O'Dowd he'd have a better dynamic with one of your two because they're that bit older. I think Chris O'Dowd.
Lily.
I'm just trying to work out.
He played opposite thingy, Paul Rudd, and Paul Rudd's about 50 now, isn't he? Something like
50 odd, yeah.
Paul eternally the same age. He'd
just
quite easily fit in our lot with 40.
Just go to your internet history months and just put Evangeline Lilly. I'm sure it'll jump up.
She's 40.
Oh, wow.
As I say, thinking Charlize Theron's 44, but just like looks eternally beautiful, frankly. It's like she played recently with Seth Rogen in that the thing, that comedy on Netflix at the moment.
I just think she could play the straight-laced woman against all the others and hold her own.
Yeah,
I agree with you,
like she does in Ant-Man. like she does in Ant-Man. Yeah, yep, like it.
I'd be happy with really any of the three of them. Did you say maybe Margot Robbie's probably a bit young now? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'd be happy enough with either of them. Really, it doesn't particularly matter there.
What's your favourite there, Dave?
Character that's just got a.
I just think Chris O'Dowd works better with Evangeline Lilly.
That'll do it then.
I'm right again. See, I told you this was easy. Well, I'm gonna be right again now with Janine as well. Who have you got?
Janine Melnick.
You are.
Who you got then?
Janine Melnick, secretary.
Yeah, I went first last time. You take it first now, and I'll tell you, you're both wrong and I'm right. Go on.
Right, Dave. You want to be right first, or shall I?
No, you go first, Woody. That's mate.
Kat Dennings.
Possible.
Kat Dennings of Two Broke Girls. I think she'd be cracking for the role of the cheeky secretary. Ends up with Louis Tulley. Likes to flirt with Egon as well. I think she could do that.
Dave.
I've got Rashida Jones.
It's a bit old for the role.
Mm.
Hang on, because
secretary.
Yeah, no, because
she's great. She's wonderful. I could have seen her as Dana Barrett actually.
I've got Rashida Jones because it depends on my Louis Tulley. Because my Louis Tulley is going to be flirted after by this person. But go on then, Mark. What's yours?
Ellie Kemper, the lady who plays Kimmy Schmidt.
Who?
Ellie Kemper.
Yeah.
Who?
That's a good shout as well.
Who is she?
She plays Kimmy Schmidt, and she plays the secretary in The Office as well, American Office.
Yeah.
Brilliant. I told you I was right. There's nobody else for the job.
The one who with Emily Blunt's husband.
Yes. Yeah, Pam in The Office, in the American Office. Yeah.
No, it's not her. No, she wasn't her. She's Kimmy Schmidt. Look up
Kimmy Schmidt.
Everybody's seen Kimmy Schmidt.
I really haven't.
One of the biggest American comedies going. Yeah, I'll just find a picture of her and share her. Hang on.
Yeah.
Okay. See, it all depends with Janine working. It all depends then who your young upstart desperate guy who's in that building who becomes Louis Tulley, who she ends up besotted with, and yeah, it depends on that. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, Ellie Kemper. That wasn't who I was thinking of. Or you, Mars.
I still don't know. I'm sorry.
She's massive and she's perfect for the role. There's nobody else.
She's not that massive, mate. Because I've not.
Oh, she is. She is. She's lovely.
Well, I'm very much Kat Dennings then, possible with that.
You're wrong.
At least I know who she is, and so do most other people.
Kimmy Schmidt is the biggest thing on Netflix at the minute. with the interactive.
She isn't. I've never seen her. It doesn't come up on my list or anything.
I can't believe you've never seen the Kimmy Schmidt series. I'll have to
have a look. I'll have to have a look it.
You see, the thing is, Kat Dennings would work with my Louis Tulley.
Okay, then let's put a hold on her for a minute. Then who's your Louis Tulley?
Tom Holland, done. Move on.
Who's your Louis?
Mine's probably too old because I was thinking of it going with Ellie Kemper. I got Simon Pegg.
See, I've gone for an older one because I've not even thought particularly about that. But he should be still in the same range to be able to date. I think Kat Dennings is about 35. I've gone for Matt Berry. Goes there, looking for the gatekeeper. You imagine when he's charging around New York, talking to the horse.
It really would be the IT crowd.
The key master.
It really would be the IT crowd.
When he holds the party.
The IT crowd does a Ghostbusters.
When he's the accountant introducing everybody to the party.
I've changed my mind. I've absolutely changed my mind about who we're going to have for Janine.
I wonder who you're going to go for.
Catherine Parkinson.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Who's that?
Oh, God. Someone eat him.
Who is it?
Yeah, I'll make it easy. I'll make it easy for you, Mart.
Can you do a large picture so I can say, oh, crikey, the full IT crowd.
Let's just do that's it. Fuck it. It's the Ghostbusters, Ghostbusters by the IT crowd. It's a piece of piss now. I mean, there's only one person we can have for Walter Peck now, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'll wait for an American for that.
No, but we've got to be honest. There's only one person now who we can have.
I know who you're going to say. Look,
there's one person that you'll probably vote for.
Christopher Morris now. Nobody else can be Walter Peck.
I'll wait for instance.
That's just and Goza has got to be Noel Fielding. That's just fucking.
Noel Fielding was one of my early choices for it, but didn't get in there. Walter Peck, I went for Joel McHale off Community, as he's played that sort of role in Ted. That sort of the asshole, the attractive asshole sort of look at.
My director has now changed to Graham Lynham.
Who we picked for Janine the Secretary? Louis Tulley.
I can't see anybody else but Ellie Kemper being her.
I just loved Matt Berry.
Matt Berry's perfect as Louis Tulley.
I need him to play that. I need him to play the Denham character just the whole way through it.
Damn these electric sex bands.
It'd be like watching an episode of IT crowd on acid.
It would. I have to say, I'm sorry. I love Tom Holland as the wannabe Ghostbuster, getting tried it on by that slightly older lady. Absolutely loves it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I would go with Tom Holland as well for Louis.
Well, you two have got your vote there. I think you're completely wrong, but you
can't have Matt Berry. It'd be fucking stupid.
You really can. He's perfect for it. You take me, Tom Holland running around New York going, I'm the gatekeeper. Matt Berry would be the funniest thing on the world. But you two have voted for Tom Holland, so you got Tom Holland.
But the only thing I would...
Berry then.
Matt Berry doesn't really come across as the young wannabe Ghostbuster to me, though, mate.
He's not a young wannabe Ghostbuster. If you look at Rick Moranis, look at his age now. He's not the young wannabe Ghostbuster there. He's an accountant who's trying to chat up Dana Barrett.
Yeah. The role they got Rick Moranis in mind was a young nerdy accountant who was just finished his training.
John Candy. They wanted a big fat guy with lots of charm and all that.
I think Tom Holland works well with Ellie Kemper because she's slightly older than him, and they will balance. So I'm gonna go with Ellie Kemper because
I think you two have made a shit film.
You wanted to put
we
Matt
haven't
Berry in
done
it?
You're making a shit film.
We can't have Matt Berry as fucking Louis Tulley.
You can have Matt Berry as Louis Tulley because he'd be perfect for it.
I love it. Oh, brilliant.
Oh, you've got Tom Holland anyway as Louis Tulley.
Yes, we fucking have because we got fucking sense.
No, you morons, a pair of fucking morons. The Moron Brothers is what they should call you, not the Palmers, the morons.
The thing is, right, our next up is Walter Peck, right? And if you wanted to do the IT crowd does Ghostbusters, I think...
You're not doing the IT crowd does Ghostbusters, but you're casting some roles would just fit. You cast the fucking first IT person in the first place, you loud-mouthed bastard.
Yeah, but it wasn't to do with the fact that it was the fucking...
Yes, you cast him. None of us have cast him. Do you want to do the IT crowd?
I cast him because he is Peter Venkman.
Same as
Matt Berry is not Louis Tulley.
The best person.
It is not Louis
Tulley.
Anybody still watching this, enjoy...
Jesus Christ. That's like casting
what's on
Gandalf as Rocky. You fuck me.
You cast the first fucking person out the IT crowd. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I didn't take
anyway.
the first person out the IT crowd. I cast Chris O'Dowd as Peter Venkman. You bellends came up with Richard Ayoade. I just agreed with you because I think that's wrong. It should be Bill Hader. And then you bring in Matt. And then you're bringing in Matt Berry. We just need Chris Morris now.
No, you two agreed on Chris O'Dowd in the first place. I cast Ryan Reynolds. I didn't cast an IT crowd. I cast because he's the perfect person for a film.
Is a bumbling scientist who can't attract a woman. If Ryan Reynolds went up to Avenger Lily and said, "Look at me, aren't I?"
No, Peter Venkman is not a bumbling scientist who can't attract a woman. Peter Venkman, kind of charming, bit of a tit, who's a bit too thick to be a scientist, but hangs around with the intelligent guys. He's more like, as they describe him in there, a game show host.
Look, the film is fucking Ghostbusters, and I want it to be as realistic as possible. We're already on a...
Well, then you should pull out your cast and go for somebody better.
We don't cast a bloody magic wand and cast all the good-looking people.
Okay, right. Time out.
Tully, Jesus.
Time out. We need a Walter Peck. So
no, that would have been Matt Berry. I've got Matt Berry down.
Matt Berry would have been better.
I've got three choices. Bill Murray, Cameo King, right? And then
Wouldn't he be retired?
You are.
Wouldn't he be retired?
I don't know. He might come out to do a Ghostbusters film. You never know. And then more serious ones. There's two: a comedic and a straight. My comedic is Eugene Levy, and my straight is Christoph Waltz.
It's not that big a role.
No, it's
Walter
not.
Peck. I got Ty Burrell from Modern Family again. I just think he would play a very grey, irritating, this man has no penis person. And
he's the dark-haired dad, isn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
Seen him now. I've seen some clips of him because I hadn't seen Modern Family, but I have watched some clips after you mentioned.
That's a good shout, that is, Dave. I'm going to cross all my out and put Ty Burrell down. Because Martin's going to say something bloody stupid, like, I don't know.
I'd gone for originally John McHale, just simply because he played the same character as that, basically. Well, a similar character in Ted. Originally, I thought he'd fit in with the guy. And he's just that bit older as well. I think he's like late 40s or something like that. So I just thought he's just around the sort of thing for him. I did various people. I thought maybe Rob Lowe. Maybe Neil Patrick Harris, a couple of like character things like that. But
I like Rob Lowe as well. I like
the guy that you picked.
Rob Lowe would be good as well. Yeah. I like Rob Lowe.
Honestly, I'm not fussed. I'm happy to be swayed on anything here with this.
It's a small role that's just got to be fulfilled by somebody.
Jesus Christ, a small role, isn't it? Warwick Davis.
You can be an arsehole.
Warwick Davis.
Between doing this and Die Hard, he was like the most hated guy of the 80s. All you got to pick is somebody who can be a bit of an officious arsehole, really. And
yeah, I like Rob Lowe. I think that would be good. I think that'd be a good chat as well. I'm happy Ty Burrell or Rob Lowe. So you flip a coin with that.
Which one did Martin prefer?
Martin had chose Rob Lowe.
It's Ty Burrell then.
Right, in that case, then everything against everything that he picks ever again. It's an argument between me and Monty.
So can I just confirm now? Goza, we are talking. I read the screenplay of it. She's very serious, straight, on top of the building, especially that final scene, etc. I got Phoebe Waller-Bridge as my Goza.
That's an interesting one. I don't mind that at all.
I know me. Mine's probably a bit too obvious. I've got two. My first one is Angelina Jolie. Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
You went the sort of the otherworldly beauty sort of thing.
Yeah.
Who was the other?
I forgot what her name is. I'm just looking it up because I forgot to write it down. I wrote down that character, Aubrey Plaza.
Ah,
yeah.
I had Aubrey Plaza originally. Then I crossed her out, and I actually went for Stephanie Beatrice off once again Brooklyn 911. Do you know who she is? Rosa.
Yeah, I know you mean. Yeah.
Just thinking
I like Aubrey Plaza.
Do the sort of nastiness, but I do quite like Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
And me.
I could happily throw mine aside for Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I think she'd be interesting there because the whole idea with Goza, according to the script, is could appear as anybody.
Yep.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Cool.
Now we've got a great little role for a great little actor and Slimer.
Well, hang on, we need a mayor.
Who could possibly play? Probably a CGI capture role, I'm guessing there, really, you know. But it's a great little role for a great little actor.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, I got
That's
Peter
interesting.
Dinklage.
I was thinking of circus maybe for a minute. And then I pushed that one to one side. I thought maybe Warwick Davis.
Warwick Davis.
Yeah, it's got to be Warwick Davis.
Who have we got for the mayor? We forgot the mayor.
Oh.
I'd got Jeff Goldblum as the mayor.
Oh,
that's what
I wouldn't be averse to that as well. Yeah, I could take that. The corkiness.
The mayor. Who's our director then?
I've got three choices. I thought straight away, possibly Edgar Wright, Sam Raimi, or Taika Waititi.
I'd got Edgar Wright or Kevin Smith.
I'd got Edgar Wright.
Oh, you've got Edgar Wright as well.
I'd got Edgar Wright.
It's Edgar Wright.
Edgar gets it by the hands.
Yeah.
I mean, Edgar Wright.
So
I've got Edgar Wright or Taika Waititi, but I thought I'm going to be keeping Taika Waititi very busy.
Yeah, I only thought after casting him as directing Wizard of Oz the other week, I'd got him down in case he got Egon Spengler. Yeah. I thought then you could have him acting in it and directing it. But wow. Edgar Wright would be great for it.
No, it's Edgar Wright does IT does Ghostbusters. IT Crowd does Ghostbusters. In fact, thinking about it, we could have Matt Berry as the mayor instead of Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah. Oh, he would be a great mayor. Oh, he'd be a terrific mayor.
In fact,
he'd be a better Louis Tulley.
I am gonna make an executive decision. I'm gonna scratch Jeff Goldblum and I'm gonna put Matt Berry in as the mayor just to appease Martin. And
that won't appease me because he should be Louis Tulley.
I don't really care what you think.
Fantastic.
And also, I think we should have a cameo.
Busters.
And then we should definitely have a cameo from what's her name. See, we can never remember her name, can we? Catherine Park. We should have a cameo as Jen, as the IT consultant or something.
No. She gets frightened in the. There's a scene right at the beginning. She
can be the librarian.
She's a librarian. Gets frightened at the beginning.
Or the ghost.
So we got Jen as the librarian.
She could be the free-floating vaporous phantasm.
In that case, then, if we're looking at a script writer, it is Linehan, isn't it? Really, Graham Linehan.
Yeah, Graham Linehan. Yeah.
Graham Lynham, Edgar Wright, because he also co-writes his stuff. You know, if he did it with Joe Hunt, maybe Kevin Smith as well, writing.
Yeah.
Once again, they've worked together in the past and stuff as mates.
Noel Fielding needs a decent cameo in this as well. We need to find a part for him.
He's probably that taxi driving ghost.
Yeah, like that. Got it, Mart.
No, I think, and also I think another good shout for the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man would be Matt Berry.
Surely Warwick Davis has got that.
Yeah, a very small part for us. Oh, brilliant! Oh, I love it.
Right,
great
then,
little
so
role for a
wonderful little role for a wonderful little actor.
Let's just scroll down this because I think this is the first time that Martin's chose a movie and has completely got it wrong, which is quite interesting.
No, you moron brothers got it wrong. Jesus Christ!
And I was majoritarily right. I am still a bit on our Egon, but I'll let you have it because it is the IT crowd does Ghostbusters now. So here we go. Peter Venkman, we got Chris O'Dowd.
Like that.
Ray Stantz, we got Josh Gad.
Yep.
Egon, we've got Richard Ayoade.
Hey.
Ernie Hudson, we got Terry Crews.
Yeah, love that.
Dana, we got Evangeline Lilly. Janine, we got Ellie Kemper. Louis Tulley, we got Tom Holland, who is playing the son of Matt Berry.
Damn these electric sex pants.
Walter Peck, we've got Ty Birrell. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Ty Burrell.
Gozer, we've got Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Slimer, we've got Warwick Davis, but if he's off sick, we can bring Peter Dinklage in. For the mayor, we've got Matt Berry. Director, we've got Edgar Wright. Cameo as the librarian, we've got Jen. And then we've got Graham Lynham as a writer.
Sounds like a great film. I pay to see it.
I think we've ruined that.
Something I've noticed here, it's a very British movie as well, considering it's
yeah, well,
New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of my 3 pages of like people chosen, I've got a various Saturday Night Live sort of lineup. I've got a choice of actors lineup, and then I've got a choice of comedians.
All I can say, mate, about your 3 sheets of paper, you're in the right fucking room for them, aren't you?
Yes, the studio.
And on that note, goodbye, everybody, and we'll see you on the next Castaway.